area to my left is known as poultry, because this is the market where you would have bought your poultry, your duck, your geese, your pheasants to eat at dinner. And this was the market area, and all around here there are roads called Milk Street, Honey Street, Bread Street, which is all indicative of the goods that you would have bought on that market. And there's Friday Street, where you would have bought your fish to eat on a Friday. Straight ahead of us on the right, this square white building, this is the Mansion House. This is where the Lord Mayor of London lives. Straight ahead of us, the building with the columns, this is the Royal Exchange, designed by Thomas Gresham, and the golden grasshopper on top is the Gresham family emblem. This was the very first covered market where people came to do business and exchange business. And in front of the Royal Exchange, you've got a statue of the man on the horse. This is the first Duke of Wellington, Sir Arthur Wellesley. Straight ahead of us now with the blue cranes on top, this is Lloyd's of London. And over to our left, this curved curtain wall is the Bank of England, and that's where we keep our gold reserves. So, as I said, disaster strikes again in 1666. This is the year of the Great Fire of London, and all the houses were made of wood, the roofs were made of straw, they were thatched roofs, and on the 2nd of September at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1666, the Great Fire of London started in a bakery on Pudding Lane owned by Thomas Mariner. One of the ovens caught fire, and as I said, all the houses were made of wood, and the fire took hold. For 4 days and 5 nights, London was burning. 13,200 houses were destroyed by the Great Fire of London, 87 churches were destroyed by the Great Fire of London. King Charles II and his advisors needed to try think of a way to put a stop to the fire. They thought they needed to find a fire break. Some houses the fire had not yet reached. Now you remember I showed you Fetter Lane? They found some houses on Fetter Lane, they took some gunpowder, they blew up the houses, they created a fire break and they stopped the Great Fire of London. And this is why Prince Henry's room survives, making it the oldest residential building in the City of London. So Christopher Wren thought this is a great opportunity to build wide streets, lovely big gardens, but these poor people of London had nowhere to live. They'd lost their homes, they'd lost their businesses. It would have taken too long to build a whole new city grid system. That's why the City of London is still these narrow roads today. Straight ahead of us, this golden orb is the monument to the Great Fire of London. It's 202 feet tall, 311 steps to the viewing gallery, and if it falls on its back, it goes directly on the point of Pudding Lane where the Great Fire of London started. And you're going to get a view of the monument to the Great Fire of London on our left-hand side. We know so much about the Great Fire of London because of Samuel Pepys, the diarist. 100,000 Londoners died of the plague, but only 9 people died in the Great Fire of London. One thing the fire did do was completely eradicate the plague. Going over London Bridge now, which is close to where the Romans built the first London Bridge, the Romans founded London, or as they called it, London. And if you look left, you see the most beautiful bridge in all of London is Tower Bridge. Opened in 1894, designed by the architect Horace Jones. We'll be going over that bridge next, so when we do, I'll talk more about it in detail. In front of the bridge, we've got a World War II cruiser, HMS Belfast. It quietly opened shots for D-Day landings. It's now a floating naval museum open to the public. Now, we're on a divert now because they've closed Tooley Street. Normally we'd head left and head to the London Dungeons, but it's closed because there's some roadworks going down there. So for those of you that require the London Dungeons, this will be your stop.